What is your knowledge of water fluoridation overseas, particularly in countries like Europe and parts of Asia, like Japan and most of China?
Were they not too smart to have it put in the water?
So you're saying that they don't have it in their water?
That's right.
And from what I understand, there's many countries in Europe that have banned it or have rejected it or just outright don't accept that a silica fluoride is useful for teeth.
Absolutely. In Belgium, I think, from memory.
Stop the tape. Diana phoned me shortly after and corrected herself. It wasn't Belgium, but Austria, as follows.
It was in at one time, but it was removed because of the high levels of fluoride in the people. The head of that state decided that it would be removed. It just was too dangerous to the health of the people, and it was noticed after it had been removed for some time, when the effects of it had gone, that the people's teeth had improved.
And that's very interesting you mentioned Belgium, because Belgium is where Queensland get their fluoride from.
Oh, of course, yes, yes. Well, see, they're so smart, they don't have it, so they send it to us to put in the dumb Australians' water, you see, to dumb us down, and it's working.
So that's a bag label from, where is that from?
I believe that was from Belgium.
Belgium. Has
yes.
it got anything actually on the packet?
Well, I blocked out the name.
Yes.
Yes. But yes, that's your silicofluoride poisons. That is a combination of your sodium silicofluoride and your sodium hexafluorosilicate. So drink up, Queenslanders, drink up, Australians. And this is also the other one. This is also the other one you get in your water supplies, which is the sodium fluoride. This is the bed buddy of this one. Dangerous, toxic it's poison, of course, toxic by ingestion. Target organs are your kidneys, your bones, your central nervous system, your gastrointestinal system, and your teeth. So how smart are we? And I'll just speak actually about kidney disease while I've got you on that. Dialysis debt will force the government to take over chronic kidney disease management in Australia. That's how serious it is here, people. It's costing just a fortune. On the 2005 figures, the cumulative cost of dialysis from 2004 to 2010 is expected to be 4.5 billion.
Billion,
So,
that's a million.
That's right.
Four times a million.
I won't bore you with all of the details, but this is so huge. They're screaming for people to be aware of kidney disease, and you're told, make sure you be careful what you eat, be careful what you drink lots of water. Hello?
So it's a bit of a case of join the dots.
We have to join the dots. We have to demand. I don't know, these organisations that are supposed to look after our health. I even had some reports on Sydney, for instance. Now, Sydney's been fluoridated for, what, 45 years. They've run out of dialysis units and had to build more. This is insane.
Would that run through also into cancer as well?
Certainly. Look, the researchers have already connected that there are so many diseases because of the cumulative effects of these poisons. And that's what this report here, this was the ACT, Inquiry into Fluoridation, 89 to 91. This is the dissenting report by Dennis Stevenson, Member of Parliament. He has fought valiantly to try and bring the truth of this to the people of Australia. I'll just read this little section. Dennis Stevenson is a former parliamentarian and member of the ACT Legislative Assembly Fluoridation Inquiry 89 to 91. The majority of inquiry members would not report the scientific, medical, dental and court evidence received in worldwide submissions proving that fluoridation causes disease, deaths, tooth decay and is useless and environmentally destructive. Now, that's absolutely tragic. Now, that was that long ago.
When was that report?
That was 89 to 91. And we're still here, and we've still got all these great people. There's so much more evidence even since then, and we're still here trying to get the truth to the people.
I believe that in the United States, the National Kidney Foundation withdrew its support for water fluoridation. Could you perhaps expand a little on that?
Yes, it was the US Attorney Robert Reeves who sort of put some pressure on the Kidney Foundation that they could be facing some big lawsuits if they didn't put this warning out. Yes.
Should parents be better informed by authorities as to the drug they're giving their children through the water supply, especially as it's difficult to monitor the dose each day or the side effects? And do you think that parents know that fluoride is a drug and that parents are actually giving their children an untested drug made from untreated industrial waste?
Yes, that's it. How would parents feel about slow poisoning their children? That's precisely what they're doing. Slow poison. Each and every drop of water their children consume, they bathe in, they absorb massive amounts through the pores of their skin every time they have a bath, every time they go in the pool to play, every shower, when they clean their teeth. They're absorbing not only the fluoride toothpaste Mummy gives them, they're having the fluoridated water. Plus, you know, if they have anaesthetics, there are still some fluorinated compounds of anaesthetics around, plus any medications they may be on.
So parents can't actually monitor the dose, and they can't taste it either.
Well, that's right. And we've also got the huge emissions of fluoride compounds in our environment as well.
This from industry?
From industry, the aluminium and fertiliser industries, yes.
We, during the making of this documentary, we did visit Geelong, and Geelong has a huge airshed of pollutants that go up into the atmosphere from industry. There's Alcoa, Shell, Incitec Pivot, amongst industries that are down there, and people are breathing in that air, and we've got a lot of recording of people that are quite toxic from just breathing the air.
Absolutely.
Up in Queensland we don't have so much of that, but we do have water fluoridation, which has just come into effect. So do you think people in Queensland are less likely to have problems from silica fluorides?
Well, you've certainly got a lot of the aluminium industries in Gladstone and other areas, Mount Isa, etc., and probably loads more than that. So I would expect that there is going to be more and more health problems, more and more crime, more and more violence.
And that you would say that that's because of the accumulative effect of fluoride in the system?
Absolutely. It is cumulative, no doubt.
In 2000, Professor Roger Masters wrote to the United States health authorities requesting data regarding silica fluoride's effects on human health and behaviour. He received a reply from these authorities that this data does not exist because no proper studies have ever been done. Based on your own research, Di, in this area, what can you share with viewers regarding silica fluorides in tap water and its relationship to human health and behaviour? And feel free to refer to Professor Masters' work.
Absolutely. Well, he's the first one who brought my attention to it, just how serious it is, and the effects on black people are even worse than what they are on white people. I looked at it and I thought, he's really onto something here. And when I looked at, I believe it was Philadelphia, massive industry there, fluoride in the water, their crime was absolutely horrendous, and it was blacks killing whites, whites killing black, black on black. It was just dreadful. And I started to look at other cities and where the water was fluoridated, the crime and violence was terrible. And I just looked more and more into this, and then I sort of looked a little bit at, you know, our capital cities. The street violence is absolutely at epidemic levels. I mean, our police can't cope virtually. And I often thought too, there's a percentage of the population that are affected by silicofluorides affecting their behaviour. So is this what happens to ever-increasing members of the population? They are affected by these neurotoxic poisons, and it is making them become more violent and into crime? Yes, I believe it is. We have had, when we had our water fluoridated here in December 2008, I have lived in this house for 34 years, and I have seen such a surge in the bad behaviour, the hooning. We've never had big black drag marks on our streets ever in the 34 years I have lived here, but we have in the last 6 months. Now that's after 21 months of fluoridation. The crime and violence in the area has escalated, and Brisbane, surrounding areas, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast. It's absolutely surged. We've never had anything like this level of violence and crime before. Not just muggings, but stabbings and shootings.
Can you just relate that back to what Professor Masters' work is about?
Well, that's what Professor Masters did all his research on, and other fluoride research, which I have a link to, fluoride research and its water fluoridation and crime in the United States of America. There was a lot put into that as well as Professor Masters' work. And Mary Sparrowdancer did work on fluoride and aggression. You know, Phyllis Mullinex, her work with the neurotoxicity of fluorides. It really is serious. It is something in the water that is neurotoxic, and it is affecting certain percentages of the population and making them become more violent, making them become criminal. Is this what's happening to some police officers who doing things that, you know, you wouldn't think a police officer would do? Is this what happens to them too? Because a lot of them are from cities that have been fluoridated for decades. You know, and this is where criminologists really need to seriously look at this as well. It's not just bad parenting. Okay, we do have a problem with alcohol, but alcohol's made with fluoridated water as well. So people were drinking here in Brisbane 21 months ago, and we didn't have this level of violence that we have now. Look at the trains. You're not safe to catch a train now. You get a knife in the ribs. We didn't have that before. There was a little bit of it, but nothing like the level now. And fluoride ferals, I actually dubbed them, the dreadful behaviour. They're urinating in the trains, they're smoking, they're dealing drugs on our trains.
So you believe that that's a build-up of fluorides in the brain?
Absolutely.